What is up, everyone? Today we're actually going to be doing a little bit of kind of add-on showcase and kind of same thing as in an add-on tutorial. And we're actually going to be going through and updating Rubedo to the newest version. And I mean, I guess I've kind of already have updated it to the newest version, but we're going to go in and actually update Rubedo and get it some new features and get it some new light that it's been desperately missing in the past few days. So what I'm going to do is I think the new I don't remember if I updated the dynamic properties yet. Let me verify. Okay, dynamic properties. Oh, we have updated this. Okay, we're good on that. I think I did do one thing over here with the dynamic properties though. We are actually going to update the dynamic properties to include um, remove that set value. And also we're going to implement a new error function for that. So it's going to error now if the entity is not valid. So that's going to help us out. And then, yeah, reduce entity ID calls. So what we're actually going to be updating here is I've wanted to improve the regions protection because I've actually advanced the region protection a lot. So we're going to go into managers, we're going to go into regions, and we're actually going to use some of this improved region protection for the add-on. So let's go into here. And so player interact with block. So there is a problem with blocking all of these blocks because let's say you want blocks to be able to be interactable. And also there's another problem since we don't have an on use delay, we're actually going to add that. So ignore those people. We're going to ignore operators too. And we're also going to create an on use delay. So this is going to give us the ability to not spam the interactions, so we can actually have it as a cooldown. So I'm actually going to import player log, and boom. So this on use delay will now we are going to import. Why am I not? Okay, let's let's do block and player. So let's deconstruct these. So now we don't have to do data dot. We can just simply pass in that. Oh, actually, that is a bad idea. That is my bad. What we need to do is deconstruct the element after the call. So then doing that after, we can actually use the cancel event. Yeah, I forgot this was, there we go. We don't need that. Okay, so we're actually going to implement data block, remove all these. So this just makes it so we don't have to every time call that function. Also, it greatly increases speed doing it this way too. And not just looks better, but increases speed. Okay, so boom. We have a callback that is going to limit the amount of times it gets spammed. We're going to player OP check. And then if it cancels, okay, so if they are able to interact with that stuff, they're good. Um, yeah, so they can interact with that, they're good. Interact with that, they're good. And then, okay, and then if it cancels, what we're gonna do a little system run, and we're actually going to give them a message. So system.run. So the reason we have to run this in the next tick is because player interactive block is a before event, meaning we cannot run a event that edits the player, edits maybe play sound on the player. We can't run this on a before event because it's read only mode. So since we're in read only mode, which means we're in a before event, we have to put it on the next tick so it can be after the event, so it's not read only mode. So then we can do note.base. We're going to play a sound, and we're also going to send a message to the player. Oops, 0167. All right, we're going to play a message saying you cannot interact with blocks in this region. Boom. We're also going to check if the player is valid. Maybe the player killed itself in the next tick somehow. Maybe it could have happened. We don't know. But to always be safe, we want to check if it's valid if we're ever extending the class to another tick. So since we're since we're creating a callback onto the next tick, anything could change. So the player could potentially kill itself. So we don't know. Something could happen. But to be safe, we're going to check if it's valid. If it's not, return. Boom. Move on. So player place block, we're going to manage this too. So for placing the block, we're actually gonna deconstruct the element again. So let's do this. Let's grab the player, dimension, and block. So then we don't need to use data. We don't need to use data. And actually, we can just straight up grab dimension from here instead of going through all that work. And then we don't need to grab player here, and also I forgot to do it here. So if not player is valid, we're gonna return. So boom, we're gonna return it's not valid just to make sure that they're actually able to use this. And I don't think we have a resource pack for this, so we're just gonna tell them a message. So alt0167, you cannot place blocks in this region. Boom. All right. So there we go. Some region updates to that. I like that. Okay. So if not region, we're going to cancel it, and then we're going to tell them next tick. Perfect. So what about break block? We are actually going to, this is actually going to be a dual nuker protection and region protection in one. So this is going to be cool. So we're going to input that same onUse delay that we did before. So that same onUse delay we had in the previous thing, we're also going to deconstruct the data. So let's delete all of these to use player. And again, we don't need to access it from the block. That's just unnecessary calls. And we're also going to add this little clause in here because potentially the player could have broke. So boom, if it's not valid, return. And boom, so if region exists, region boom, 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 looks good. That looks good. So this is actually nuker protection and region protection in one. So this is actually stopping players from placing blocks 2/10 of a second. So you have to have a spacing between 2/10 of a second to get past this region protection. So we actually probably want to make that a variable. We can do that later if we actually want to implement it into the protections. But for now, that's fine with me. So then we are going to go into the explosion event. I think this event looks good. Let me verify. Yeah, I don't think this needs much of changing at all. Yeah, perfect. Event does exactly what it needs to do. Grabs impacted blocks, allowed blocks, and then if the block is not allowed, cancel that block. And then boom, set impacted blocks. Perfect. So we're also going to block entity spawning. Simply check if they're in a region. If they allow, boom, boom, gone. We're going to also, once the region tables have loaded, we're going to set a run interval that is going to get all regions. So let's not run that every tick. So const regions. All right, so for each regions of regions, we are going to get all the entities in the dimension. Okay. So it's actually getting all the entities, and let's not run that every single time. See, that's kind of sloppy. That's sloppy code. So let's actually grab all the entities, and instead of this, it would be faster to grab all the entities and map them to the dimensions, and then we can grab them later on. So let's actually do that. So let me go back to there. So what we're going to do is we're going to do dimensions, and this gives us a array like that. So what we want to do with this is we're going to want to map this array to grab all the entities in that. So basically, we're going to do dot. Okay, so let's do object dot keys of dimensions, and we're going to want to filter these dimensions. Filter these dimensions. So let's do key dot starts with Minecraft. So make sure we're only grabbing these last three. Then we're going to map each dimension. Yeah, okay, good. We're going to map each key again to this thing we did down below. So we're actually going to do dimensions k. Then, oh, k should be, yeah, so that should be as key of type of dimensions. So since we're using TypeScript, it always wants to keep you safe. So that's just kind of a way we have to get past TypeScript because it doesn't always know everything. Okay, so then we get that dimension. Then we're going to get all the entities in that dimension. And let's just simply grab all these because we're going to exclude them later. So boom. So now we're going to do const dim entities. So that is going to be a mapped entity array based on the dimension. However, that is not going to be perfectly how I want it because we do want it as an object so we can read it based off of that. So let's do something else. Let me think. Let's do dimensions object, but we're actually going to want to map it again. So we'll grab the first three. Actually, let's grab the last, and then we map them back to the value. Okay, actually, we can do something even better. So let's do dim entities, and then we'll set it later. So we'll set it as an object, and we'll do dim entities, and then we're going to do a for each on this. Instead of mapping it, we can do dim entities k is going to be equal to that. We're actually going to have to put this into a callback instead of that. Okay. All right. Dim entities k. What do you want? Oh, you need some typing. So we're going to give it some typing parameters. Key is actually going to be in dimensions. Type of dimensions. It's going to be a key of type of dimensions. Okay, what do you want? The index cannot be a literal generic type. Can use mapped. I think we're supposed to be doing in. Is in not right? Of? Alright, just scream at me. Let's just call you a string because I don't want to deal if you're typing. Okay, so we're going to do string and we're going to do to an entity array. And then boom, there we go. So it all maps out perfectly. So we define dim entities, which is going to be a key string of the dimensions array. And then we are going to grab all the dimensions, filtering only the ones with the Minecraft this. We could actually remove this and just map all of them, but I don't see the point of that. And then we're going to assign the key to the entities in that dimension into dim entities. So now, down here, we are actually going to change this up a little bit. So const entities, it's going to yell at me, but dim entities dot, all right, we're actually going to have to, as region dot dimension ID, and then we're going to filter the entity where entity dot type is included in here. So this dot includes entity type ID. So basically now we can remove this. So what is happening now is we have all the entities in this region that is in its dimension that is a part of the allowed. So then we're going to loop through all the entities, and if the region entity, if the entity is in the region, then, oh, actually we could do something even better here. We can actually check it during here so we're not looping through many things multiple times. And so actually let's do that. And so it must be in an array, and the region, the entity must be in the region. E. Okay, yep, there you go. So it must be an allowed entity and it must be in the region. And if both of those hold true, we are just going to loop through them and remove all the entities. Simply as that. So we could do we could do one step further and actually, instead of filtering here, let's just do one array. So let's just make this even cleaner and even faster. If okay, so if it includes it, I love speed, so we're just gonna keep it speeding up. Okay, so if it's an allowed entity, okay, so if it's not an allowed entity, oh no. If it is an allowed entity, we're gonna want to continue. Okay, and then if if the entity is in the region, then we're also gonna want to continue. Okay, actually, if it's not in the region, we're gonna continue. Boom. So now we have successfully done that, and then we don't need a filter here. Perfect. That is what I want to see. So now we're going to loop through the region, and we're going to grab all the entities into the current dimension of that region. Then we're going to loop through all the entities, and if it's an allowed entity, continue. And if it's not in the region, continue. And then if it passes both of those, we're going to remove it. So perfect. So that is going to run every 100 ticks. So that should be 20 multiplied by 5, so 5 seconds. And then gives a player a tag if they are in a region. I don't know if we still need that. Oh, actually, yeah, we still do. So that is going to stop PvP in the region. Let's see if we can improve this a little bit. So let's actually do const regions. So it's just going to improve speed a little bit. For const regions of regions, if region entity and region, if they are in the region, add tag, and then add region protected, else, boom. Perfect. Perfect. Yep, that's perfect. All right, there we go. So we've cleaned up all of these events. Player break, player place, player interactive block has been cleaned up. And then I think we do one more. I guess we don't need that. The interactive entity event, we could stop interactions of entities. I guess it might be good for regions if we do a little config for them, if we add it to the config. But for now, I think that's good. So let's actually run through this stuff. We're actually going to do npm run dev. And I'm going to hop into the game and we're going to look through it. Okay, so I've loaded the world up into Minecraft and boom, we can see the commands on the side. I did dash help to easily view them. So now we know the pack is working into the world. And we didn't see any problems going up. I'm actually going to find that region command and actually, okay, there it is. Dash region add. And let's do from 900 on the X to, I think it's from Z, yep, to 9 to 1,000 on the Z. From, oh, this is the 2X, okay, 1,000. Okay, let's actually move that back to 900. Okay, my bad. 900 to 1,000. And then boom. Create a new region, and we also got that into the log. So I actually updated the log recently. So if we do get all, you can see all. Oh, we have to do page 1, descending, and boom. You can see, yeah, you can see where I created a new region. It's actually logged. It's really nice. I've logged like every single event in here. But anyways, we now should have a region in this area. So if I place a TNT and light it, yep, perfect. It gets removed instantly. That's how we know the region is actually there. So now we should be able to test the region out. And what we're actually going to do is I'm going to hop back into the code. And we're going to do a little clause in here that is going to disable the event we want to test. So let's say we want to test the interact event. So let's go back up. And we're actually going to disable the checking if we're admin and stuff. That's just going to make it so we can test it while we're in admin. But we would want to enable that back. So you can see when I interact with stuff. Oh, let me switch back to Minecraft. When I interact with stuff, it now says you cannot interact with blocks in the region. And if I place blocks, it's also going to ban that too, because interacting is also placing at the same time. And if I give myself a bucket of, let's do water bucket, you can see if I place one, boom, nothing works. So there we go. That is interactions in regions done. So now perfectly the regions are protected. And we're going to switch back to the window. And boom, so interact we know is good. Placing blocks is, actually this event really won't be used because interact cancels it, which is very nice. But anyways, it works. Place, break blocks. So this is the anti-nuker we can actually test. So I'll disable that. We're going to hop into Minecraft. And if I go to reload, you can see if I break blocks, I cannot break blocks in this dimension. And we also want to fix that message. So good, we tested this because now we can go back into here and fix that message, which I forgot to fix. So we're going to do here, alt0167, as you cannot break blocks in this region. So boom, that's good. Let's make sure there's no other messages like that. Perfect, we're good. And we're going to go back to Minecraft. And so now if we do reload, we should see, oh, perfect. And the great thing about this is this is actually anti-nuker. So let's say we are not in a region, so let's just go outside the region. I think this should be outside. Oh, no, we're still in a region. How big did I make this region? Okay, we might be out of it now. Oh, are we not? Or did I break the system? Shoot. Let me see how big our region is. It's from 900 to 1,000. Oh. So it's on all. Okay, so I've either broke this event or I did something wrong. So player break block. Okay, so if we are in a region, block location is in the region. If it is, return. So that should be good. That should be good. I think I'm just in a region. Oh, wait, no, because I can interact with blocks out here, but I can't break. So that means we must have messed something up here. So, oh, wait, no, never mind. That's just because we did something up there. All right. Let's just actually just TP far away. Just verify we didn't mess something up. Or we'll go negative 1,000 too, just to make sure. Okay, we definitely messed something up because there should not be any protection out here. Wait. Hold on. Okay, no, we didn't mess anything up. It's just because those have negative to 1,000 protections. That is the why. Okay. So since it goes negative to 1,000, let me switch back to Minecraft. We are actually able to break stuff over here. But if you see, if once we're in the 1,000 range, both we have to be inside both of the regions. You should see over here. Yep, you can't break blocks. Perfect. Okay, so we did do that right. I wasn't tripping. There we go. And we're going to set that back to that. And then boom. So there is our updated regions ready to go for Rubedo. So then I'm just going to make the commit to GitHub. And then boom. Our pack is now updated to some brand new regions, which are very, very cool. So if you did enjoy this little walkthrough of me updating Rubedo, and actually if you learned something, make sure to comment what you learned and how I can make these videos a bit better. So I hope to do some more of these videos of me just updating the pack and fixing a few bugs and just making things work a little bit better. So if you did like that one, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.